Yo, what's going on, man? Today is March the 25th. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, top of the morning. We have a bunch of games on the board for today. I actually enjoy the card for today. I really, really do. A little bit more work to do, but I think it's a really good card today. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games. I think I'm going to go through maybe 6 of them on the show for today. We'll jump right into it so we can be productive with our time. Yesterday, 2-0 day for myself. Brooklyn and Dallas gets up and over the total. I think they finished with 221 points. I wasn't as confident throughout the day. I thought Anthony Davis would kind of mess up the pace, but Dallas was able to score at will. Brooklyn got to 100 points, and that was all we needed. And then the Lakers' first quarter, boy, I'm glad I got in and got out. They could not hold on last night after having a pretty good first quarter, first half. Orlando hit him in the mouth in the third quarter and never were able to recover. So 2-0 day, we pick up a unit, and we try to parlay that into today for sure. So let's see who we have in the comments, and then we'll go ahead and jump into it for today. Justin always up with me, man. Shout out to Justin, real one. Salute to my guy, Justin. What up, Justin? He says, top of the morning. Says, tell the Mavs over 217 yesterday. Good look, but very sweaty. Yeah, it was sweaty, man. It actually, like, they just didn't score anymore after, like, the final, I think, 2 minutes. It was just a bunch of bricks out there. But, yeah, we got there. And that's all that matters, Justin. That's all that matters. Markel says, great way to get some cash. Celtics, man. Let's go. -10. I talked about how easy I thought it was on Cal Show yesterday. Didn't get there. The number changed. But, Celtics ended up smashing last night. I didn't watch the end of the game. I did wake up to some tweets that Jason Tatum got hurt last night, was grimacing in some pain. I got to go back and check that out. I do need to see what happened to Mr. Tatum. What up, Lane? Appreciate you for tapping in. What up, Doms? What up, Adam? Good morning. What up, Prolific? Smeezy, what's going on, my brother? Hope all is well. Malik says, what it do? Y'all know I'm on cloud 9 with the Bulls. And the Bulls was another one that looked really easy yesterday, man. I didn't play the Bulls game at all. I talked about liking the total up and over. It got there. I think it got there, right? It did get there. I think I woke up this morning. I fell asleep before the game finished last night, but I want to say it got there last night, up and over. Yeah, finished to 248 points. So, yeah, Chicago's offense is humming. Boy, they humming right now. And Denver already don't play no defense, and we're able to score. So, yeah, +4, +3, over. Yeah, it was all good money. I think the short list that I had for myself yesterday went 5-1 or 4-1. The only thing that didn't cash was the over between the Celtics and the Kings. But yeah, it was a good night yesterday. What's up, Mark? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Bryant. My guy says Lakers first quarter, first half. Exactly. Got some work to do. Let's get to it. Yeah, for sure. Good morning, She. What up, Jordan? 929 Dama says, sup, Chris? Morning. What's going on, my brother? Hope all is well with you, man. Good morning, Jose. Let's jump into it for today. So we'll start off with jaXon, as we always do. Your AI sports betting homie, buddy, partner, tool, whatever you want to call it. Check jaXon out if you're interested. There is a link in the description for 50% off promo. You can also just go over there to Pine Sports, and you get 5 free prompts per month. So even if you don't want to pay for any tiers, they got 5 free prompts per month. They do have a lower tier that's only $9.99 a month. Just know that whatever code, when you use the code ChrisBeCappinn with 2 P's and 2 N's, whatever tier you sign up for, whether that's a month or 6 months or a year, that's what you get the 50% off of. I can't do anything outside of that. So if you do it for just a month, like, you have to find another code for the rest of the year, or if you want to use it again. So just something to take into consideration. Today I asked jaXon, what is the best NBA player prop today based on last 10 game hit rate? I'm gonna give y'all that, and then I'm gonna give y'all one on the total bet as well. And jaXon likes, I can't even remember what jaXon liked yesterday. jaXon liked LeBron to go over. I don't think Bron got there. 36.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Real quick, I do like to recap these. I don't think Bron had 36.5 last night against Orlando. 20. Oh, yes, he did. He had 24, 6, and 7. So he finished with 37 points. So right over the number of 36.5. LeBron did get there. 24, 7, and 6 last night. That's good for 37. So okay. So that was a winner. And I think that might have been, and jaXon liked the over between the Celtics and the Kings, and that was a loser. So 1-1 day for jaXon. Today, jaXon likes Najee Marshall up and over his points prop, what makes a ton of sense. It says over 17.5. You can get this at -109 on Bet Rivers is what jaXon tells us. He's hit it in 9 of his last 10 games, averaging 22.6 points during that span. Knicks ranked 16th defensively against his position. And Marshall scored 24 points in the earlier game that they played between these two teams. And I'm watching Najee play last night. I think he might have got the bucket to get us up and over the total on a reverse little layup, little Kyrie move. And yeah, that was money last night. So shout out to Najee. jaXon likes Najee today up and over his points, probably 17.5. Somebody gonna have to score. It's no Anthony Davis tonight. He is gonna be ruled out. Said that he's gonna play on Thursday. All right. Other bet that I'm looking at for today on jaXon. I asked jaXon what's the best total in the NBA. I want to give y'all 2 today. jaXon likes the over. I don't know how much I agree with this one. Atlanta, Houston, up and over the 234.5. Says that the Hawks have gone up and over the total in 7 of their last 10 games with the average combined of 241 points. The Rockets have gone over their total in 6 of their last 10 games, averaging 238 points combined. Both teams ranked top 10 in pace over the last 10 games, with the Hawks being 5th, the Rockets being 7th. The fast tempo creates more scoring opportunities. The Hawks 8th in offensive efficiency, while the Rockets are 10th, ensuring consistent scoring on both sides. Defensively, both teams have struggled, with the Hawks ranking 22nd and the Rockets ranking 24th in defensive efficiency over the last 10 games. The Rockets' perimeter defense has been weak, ranking 25th in opponent three-point percentage. This aligns with the Hawks' ability to score from deep, led by Trae Young. The Hawks' interior defense has been inconsistent, allowing the Rockets' big men to dominate in the paint. So jaXon likes the over 234.5. I'm actually looking the opposite way in that game. Not gonna lie. We'll talk about it when we get there. I'm not liking the over in that game. So let's jump into it for today, man. We have the first one up. We got the Spurs and the Pistons. Won't be on this one long, and primarily because of the injury report. It's kind of impactful in my opinion in this game. So we start with San Antonio. Who is it? Stephon Castle. Yeah, Stephon Castle's on the injury report here. Listed as questionable. I'm not sure if he's going to play. He means a lot to the spread, in my opinion. If you just go back, I'm not going to read the numbers off, but if you go back and look at his recent games, what he's been able to do for the team, it's been a lot, especially without Victor Wembanyama, especially without De'Aaron Fox, who's both out for the rest of the season. So I would like Castle to be out there. It's a right knee hyperextension. They may not even play him because of that. We'll see how it goes, but I think he means a lot to the spread. And of course, Cade Cunningham, maybe the most improved player in the NBA. Of course, it means something to the spread. He's listed as questionable. Tim Hardaway Jr. missed the last game. They both missed the last game. They both listed as questionable for this one. That makes it hard for me to bet this one. It did open at 8.5. It's up to 10 now. The total has gone up from 232.5 up to 235 as well. So what I wrote in my notes, and just real quick on this one, both of these teams have played a really easy strength of schedule. They're both bottom 10 in strength of schedule in the last 5 games, and Detroit hasn't been covering. So I'm like, I want to take some dogs today. I really, really do. We'll see how it goes. I do think that San Antonio, I know that they haven't been great. I'm not expecting them to be great, but they continue to play hard. And just because Detroit hasn't been covering, I kind of want to take San Antonio here, if I'm being honest. I probably won't do it, but I think that would be my recommendation. San Antonio's 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games. Detroit's just 1-4 against the number in their last 5 games. Detroit also just 3-6-1 against the number in their last 10 games. They got a big game coming up against Cleveland on Friday. And they're just 6-11 against the number when they're laying points at the crib. This has not been a profitable spot to back Detroit this season. It kind of feels like to me, and you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. It kind of feels like to me Detroit has far exceeded expectations for the season. But now the numbers are getting too big, and they're not covering these big numbers. They didn't cover against the Pelicans last game. The Pelicans were without Zion Williamson in that game. They let CJ McCollum go absolutely bonkers in that game. They lost outright to Dallas in the last game as well. So I think given, the big game against Cleveland coming up, them not being able to cover the number in the last 10, just 3-6-1, like I mentioned, 6-11 laying points at the crib, I think I'd be looking towards San Antonio. San Antonio hasn't been good, though. Don't get it twisted. Haven't been good on the full season. Just 13-20 against the number on the road. Detroit did blow them out earlier this season as well. They beat them 125-110 as a 4.5 point road favorite. Detroit was road favorites in that game back on February the 21st. Detroit should be able to get out. They should be able to score at the rim. They should be able to get out and run in transition. San Antonio's defense has not been It's been okay, but they have played, like I said, a really easy strength of schedule, 26 in strength of schedule in their last 5 games. So we'll see how it goes. I wrote for the over. San Antonio has been a super over team, 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. They are 11th in pace. Detroit's 8th in pace. Detroit has played in 3 straight overs as well. Detroit last 5 games averaging about 232 points. San Antonio's last 5 games have averaged about 238 points. So they are coming off a big win against Toronto. And as far as the under goes, I did right. San Antonio has scored in two places recently, at the rim from the 3-point line. Also in transition, Detroit's defense is tailored to stop 2 of those things. The rim and transition, Detroit has been really good at. Detroit's defense is not as good against 3-point shooters, though. So if you're betting on San Antonio, you do need some of those 3-point shots to fall. I'm not playing the game, but just thought I'd share some notes with you guys, especially given the injury report. All right, so that's the first one. Let's see what we have, if you guys have any thoughts on this game or any thoughts on what I said. What up, Lingowick? Appreciate you for tapping in. We'll get to that game in just a second. Good morning, Tariq. Says, good morning, Chris. I had the Lakers first quarter, Pacers first quarter, but took the Lakers live, assuming they would bounce back. It was terrible, man. Yeah, I agree with that. Why I said jaXon needs to get an app out. That would be nice. And it's probably coming. It's definitely probably coming for sure. 37. Yeah, Justin says LeBron did cash. Loving it, Helms. And I do want to send some prayers up and some condolences to Juju. You hate to see an injury like that, especially in tournament time, man. Juju get well soon, Juju. But yeah, WNBA season is almost upon us, and I'm super excited to dive into WNBA. We got a little over a month left, I think. It starts in May, so yeah, a little over a month. What up, Helms? Hope all is well with you as well, bro. Dom says Spurs team total under here. Okay. Adam says I'm on the Spurs. Got a +9.5. It's moving to 10. I see a 10.5 on a couple books as well. DraftKings actually got a 10.5, Adam. So make sure you're always shopping around, get the best of the number. He says 62% cover rate for a dog after a 30-point blowout. Okay. Mark says he bet over 235. Couldn't talk you off. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Malik. Hopefully, Juju recovers well, man. You hate to see that. Good morning, Lee. Says, am I missing something? I feel like this number is low at -5 for Orlando. We'll get to that game in just a second. Just like to go in order. I agree. Detroit don't cover big spreads over 235. And says maybe. We'll see how the injury report goes. And yeah, definitely prayers up for Juju. All right, let's keep it moving. Try to be productive with our time. Next one we got up is the Magic and the Hornets. This line is at 5. Hasn't really moved a lot at all, man. I'm looking like I capped these games super early yesterday. The ones that I did get through, I got through them super early yesterday. I was handicapping games at lunchtime yesterday, so I was ready to fire on the plays that I was looking for. This line hasn't moved a lot. It opened 5. I'm looking at on DraftKings yesterday, about 520 yesterday. Went down to 4.5, a little bit of buy-in on Charlotte, and now back up to 5. And if I'm being honest, and the total has moved north. 210 is what it opened at. It's up to the highest 213 right now. And I do like Orlando in this spot. I haven't bet it yet. I just thought that the line would move, and it's not, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I typically don't look at line movement too much. I know there's some other hesitations. I'm gonna get into the handicap in just a second. Orlando, of course, is on the second leg of a back-to-back. They beat my Lakers last night. We'll see if Cole Anthony plays. I think that he was ruled out of the game last night. He's listed as doubtful for this game. And then on the Charlotte Hornets side of things, they should have everybody. LaMelo is going to be in there. Bridges should be there. Mark Williams should be there. Everybody's outside of Josh Okogie, who hasn't played in quite a while. So I'm going through the game yesterday. It's a lot of things I like for Orlando. The problem, I'll give you guys the caveat to why I didn't bet the game yet first. Orlando, I use this tool. I don't talk about it as much, but I use this tool called Cleaning the Glass. I've talked about it before on the show. On Cleaning the Glass, you can go in and look at how teams rank offensively and defensively, playing first leg of back-to-back, home, road, all these different, metrics. And there isn't an offense that's worse than the Orlando Magic's offense on the second leg of a back-to-back. Well, actually, they are. But it's not too many worse. They are the second worst offensive rated team. The Washington Wizards have an offensive rating of 100.8 on the second leg of a back-to-back. One of the reasons why I took the Wizards and the Knicks under in that game just a couple days ago is because Washington has the worst offense on the second leg of back-to-backs. The Orlando Magic are right behind them. They got an offensive rating of 104.5. That means they score 104 points per 100 possessions on the second leg of back-to-back games. They are still a top 10 defensive rated team, but they typically get outscored by about 8 points per 100 possessions on the second leg of back-to-back games. That's what I don't like for Orlando. What I love for Orlando is that they are 5-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. Their offense is starting to play a little bit better. And Charlotte has been, you know what? I want to be nice because it's too early to be negative, but Charlotte has been bad. They have not been great. They're 1-4 against the number in their last 5 games. I like this. This is what I like about the Orlando side. They've only been favorites on the second leg of back-to-backs once this season. They beat the Philadelphia 76ers in that game by 4. They didn't cover the 6 number, which is what this number, pretty much what the number is, right? Well, I'm not going to say it's close enough, though. They've dominated Charlotte recently as well. They've won 3 straight. They've covered all 3. They've won 8 of the last 10. They've covered 8 of the last 10 as well. I don't like that Charlotte has given up a ton of points recently. Well, I do like that Charlotte has given up a ton of points recently if I like Orlando. Just gave up 134 to Atlanta. Gave up 123 to the Clippers, gave up 134 to the San Antonio Spurs, gave up 141 to the Oklahoma City Thunder, gave up 122 to the Miami Heat of all teams. And that's been really, really bad. Their defense is the worst in the NBA. Orlando, if you like Orlando, if you're buying what I'm selling right now, Orlando has a 118.5 offensive rating in their last 5 games. I'm going to say that one more time. Orlando has a 118.5 offensive rating in their last 5 games. They're the 11th best offense. I don't think we've seen Orlando be in the top 15 of offensive rating. Typically, they are really bad. That's up. That 118.5 number is up from 109.7 on the full season, which is 27th in offensive rating. So offense for the full season, 27th. Last 5 games, they're 11th. They're shooting the 3 better. They're shooting the mid-range shot better. Charlotte's defense has been worse than ever. They are the worst defensive rated team over the last 5 games. So I do think it's a little bit of a Orlando spot. If you like Charlotte, then you do like that Orlando is just 4-7 straight up, 6-5 against the number when they're playing unrested, and they have a negative 6-point differential. Charlotte's also 19-16-1 against the spread at home this season. They're 6-4-1 ATS with the rest advantage as well. So I like Orlando. I didn't bet it. As far as the total, I know that the market is pushing it up. I know Orlando's been struggling. I know Orlando's been scoring the basketball a little bit better as well. I don't know, man. I got too much on the under to bet the over. I think I'll just rock with Orlando if I want to play the spread here, if I want to play the game. And it's some, like, much as I want to take it over, it's some really strong trends towards this game going under. And I just talked about Orlando being the second worst offense. The totals between these two teams, specifically when they match up, are 8-2 to the under. 3-0 to the under this season. None of the totals have gone over 203 points. None of them. Charlotte, 4-2 to the under at home games with a low total that's below 215. Orlando, 13-7 to the under if they're playing road games with a total that's lower than 215. 4-1 to the under if they're less rested than their opponent on the road with a total that's below 215. Charlotte struggled to score the basketball. They're shooting 41.5% from the three-point line, which is the 3rd best in the last 5 games. Charlotte has been making some threes. That's bound to regress, in my opinion. And Charlotte isn't attacking the rim much or getting out and running at all. So those things kind of talk me off of over, even though the market is pushing this one over. I think if I had to play the game, and maybe I will, I'm laying the 5 with Orlando. Let's see what you guys are thinking about it. What up, Frankie? Appreciate you for tapping in. DJ likes Magic. He says -5 after they beat the Lakers down. Like it. Justin says just played the 5, but I feel like I'm being set up. I kind of felt the same, Justin. I haven't played it yet, but it makes a ton of sense, man. Makes a ton of sense. LJ says Magic first quarter. So I don't like Magic first quarter. I think because the Magic struggle, and I think Charlotte plays better early and then they run out of gas late. That's just the way their offense goes. If I looked into it, I'm not going to do it right now. I know Charlotte's offense is better early, and then they struggle later as the game goes on. She says Magic here. Adam says I nuked Orlando -4.5. They have dominated this matchup and need wins. That's a fact. Burns says Hornets should cover here. What up, Burns? Hope all is well with you, bro. It's tough. It is tough. Seems too easy, but I've already played it. Lee says, you know what seemed easy? The Celtics last night seemed easy, and I didn't play it. The Bulls seemed easy last night. Very public dog. It was very easy. Sometimes easy plays cash. Sometimes they do. Adam says, I really want to take the under, but I'm not sure of the stats. How are the three previous? How are they all went under? All went under. LJ says Hornets 7-3 to the over last 10. Crazy. Like the under, but no play yet. Mark says, Justin says, it's not Sunday. You ain't got to be nice today. Yeah, they do stink. They do stink. Jose says Charlotte team total under. I looked into that. 103.5. Orlando team total is 108.5 when I looked at it right before. Dom says Hornets franchise is a joke. Free Melo. I think Melo likes being in Charlotte, Doms. I really think he does. Franz talked about their offense playing a lot better after the game yesterday. DJ says should be an easy Magic spot, but they be suspect with my money. Dante says G421 says he'll play the Magic minus the 7. Orlando team total over. Banchero over his points. Hornets team total under. What up, Brian? No more under on Magic games until further notice, Dougie Bone says. Magic been scoring sneakily. Banchero and Franz trying to tune up for the playoff run. I think this is a game where, like, I'm very, analytically driven. I watch these games, though. A lot of it is eye test as well. And if they match, it's easy for me to make a play. If they don't match, it's more difficult. Season trends say, Orlando may not cover this game. I do think Orlando can get the job done here, win this game by double digits, not by double digits, by multiple possessions. We shall see, though. Enough time on this one. I feel like we did a pretty good job. Next one up, we go into the streets of Miami. Heat are getting 5 points now as a home dog. This total hasn't really moved a lot at all. 218.5. I did bet this one. So Steph is listed as questionable, was supposed to be reassessed yesterday after he went through practice. He did go through practice yesterday, and we'll see if he plays. I really don't care if Steph plays or not. I like the bet a lot in this one. So Duncan Robinson is also listed as questionable in this game. We'll see if he plays. Could be necessary. Like, I think he could be used for sure. So if you like Miami, don't let me talk you off. It is the Jimmy Butler versus Miami Heat game. If you like Miami, you like that Golden State has struggled to cover the spread recently. Only 1-4 against the number in their last 5. Golden State also 3-6-1 against the number in their last 10. So maybe the market is kind of caught up with Jimmy Butler being on the team. Miami has covered 3 games in a row. They just covered against Detroit, took my money. Covered against Houston, took my money on a Bam Adebayo 3-pointer. And then they smoked Charlotte pretty easily in that game. With Wiggins back in the lineup, the offense has started to move in the right direction as of late. These are all things that you like for the Miami Heat. Recently, Miami has moved away from taking as many threes and taking a few more mid-range shots. They're 5th in frequency, 9th in accuracy in their last 5 games, and that could give Golden State some trouble because their paint and mid-range defense has not necessarily been the greatest as of late. Golden State has been a really good defense, but not in those 2 specific shot zones. I'm bucking all that, though. I'm on Golden State here. I did play a 4.5 last night. I think the pivot could be a Miami Heat team total under. But here's why I like Golden State. I sent this out to the members at like 4:30 yesterday, even before my son had soccer practice. I'm like going to pick him up from after school, and I'm sending them to play because I see the number comes out. Golden State 19-15 against the number on the road. Not that the Miami Heat won't want to, win the game and try to get back on the right track or try to keep their momentum going. But Jimmy being back in Miami, I think it's big, and I think the Golden State Warriors are going to rally around them. I don't think that there's a question between who's the better between these two teams. You also got Golden State in the revenge game. They lost 114-98 back in Golden State on January the 7th. They were laying 7.5 points in that spot as a home favorite. Golden State is only 7-11 against the spread in revenge games this season. But there's no look-ahead spot here. They got the Pels up next, but their game's not until Friday. And then from a trends perspective, Golden State off a loss has been very profitable. They're actually the second most profitable team in the NBA this season, behind the Boston Celtics. I think Boston is covering like 79% of their games ATS off a loss, and the Golden State Warriors are 19-10 off a loss, 65.5%. Golden State is forcing a bunch of turnovers, actually forcing the most turnovers in the league in the last 5 games. Miami's offense, we know, has really struggled. We'll see what happens with Wiggins back in the rotation, but Miami has struggled to take care of the basketball. They're actually giving it up at the 3rd highest rate. I think Golden State's going to be able to force some turnovers in this game, and I just think we're going to get a locked-in defensive effort. Remember, if you watched the show on Saturday, actually the last play that I lost was Golden State defense, right? I played Atlanta team total under, thinking that Golden State would show up. They did not. So I am expecting them to bounce back in a big way. Miami's 3-point defense has been bottom five as of late, as far as opponent 3-point accuracy. So I'm expecting Golden State to be able to knock down some shots from the 3-point line. They are shooting the 4th most threes in their last 5 games and the 2nd most on the full season. So I think Golden State wins the game. Of course, you're going to have to go down there, battle with Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware. It's not like I don't think Tyler Hero and those guys are going to get up for this game, but I did play Golden State. Another thing I like for Golden State is that their defense off a loss has been money. Golden State has actually held 7 of their last 8 opponents under their team total when they're coming off a loss. Since Jimmy has joined the team, they're actually 3-0 straight up and against the spread. Coming off a loss, their opponents are averaging 97 points per game when they're coming off a loss. So I'm expecting Golden State to lock in here, not to overlook this game. No look ahead spot. That's the way that I would be playing it. I do see the total dropping from 218.5 down to 217.5 on a couple books right now. I did play 4.5 last night. I think Golden State wins the game by multiple possessions. If I'm wrong, it'll be 3 straight times that I'm wrong on the Miami Heat, but we'll see how it goes. They'll take a little bit more of my money. But yeah, I am with the Golden State Warriors today, thinking it's a bounce back spot. Let's see. Jose likes Golden State. LJ says Miami first half. Couldn't talk you off of Miami first half spot, LJ. We know that their offense has been terrible in the second half of games. Miami's actually been covering some numbers early. First quarter, first half. They've absolutely been covering some numbers. Nuggets over was low-hanging fruit, Rez says. Miami money line, don't hesitate, Jordan says. Most interesting game of the night. I'm all over Golden State. The Heat are atrocious. Wiggins versus the Warriors revenge game incoming. He has been hooping, Justin. He has been hooping. I'm interested to see what the matchup looks like, though. Do they put Jimmy on him? Because if Jimmy guards him, I don't think he's going to score as much. But Wiggins been hooping. He had a 17-point quarter against the Houston Rockets, and then he had a 40-point game. Did he have 40, 30, 40, something like that against Charlotte the other day? Granted, it's Charlotte's defense, but yeah, he has been hooping. Only been back for 2 games. Steph is playing. I would be comfortable in 9. Jump on it now, Steph ruled in. I don't care if Steph plays or not. Yeah, I got him with or without Steph, Jordan. Remember, so when I said this the other day, let me see if I can go back on my notes real quick. I said this for the game that was played on Saturday, right? Which was what, the 23rd? Was that the 23rd? No. It was the 22nd, right? Yeah, it was the 22nd. So I said in my notes on Saturday, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. No, it wasn't Saturday. Wait, what day was this? Today's the 25th, right? What day was this? This is Friday, Saturday. Where's Golden State notes? Golden State. Anyway, I can't find it. But what I said in my notes was that I'm expecting Golden State's defense to play even better if Steph doesn't play. So I think they're going to be locked in even more on the defensive end. And I had some numbers for the Atlanta game. They, of course, like I said, they didn't show up in Atlanta the other day, but I do think that they'll be locked in here for sure. So yeah, it's Golden State for me. If you're on the opposite side, I'm not going to wish you the best of luck. We shall just see how it plays out, man. But yeah, I did lay the points here. I laid the 4.5. Mark says he got the 4.5 last night. Steph traveled with the team. He did. Dom says Warriors Heat first half under. Yeah, I looked into that, Doms. I don't think I wrote it down. But yeah, first half under makes a lot of sense. He says the number hasn't been released, but the Warriors games are 7-2-1 to the under in the first half, and the Heat 6-3-1 to the under Warriors first half team total is 7-3 to the under as well. So thinking that both teams could struggle to score offensively early, that makes a lot of sense. Tariq says going down to the wire. Miami first half spread. Randy says, what's up, Randy? I think it's a new name. Golden State Moneyline Parlay. You're welcome. Okay. Kuminga props, maybe, potentially. Dre for a double-double, I love it, says, potentially. One bet for me. Give me the Golden State Warriors minus the 4.5. Let's keep it moving. Dallas and the Knicks. I didn't really look too deeply into this one. We'll skip over it. I'll give you guys my notes. So Anthony Davis, of course, like I said, is ruled out. Of course, they're still without Gafford, Lively. Very short travel. No travel, honestly, from Brooklyn to MSG tonight. The Knicks do have the rest advantage, of course. And I think, Deuce is already ruled out in this game. Dallas has not been profitable on the road this season in general, but the Knicks haven't either. They're 16-17-1 against the number at home. This line has moved. It's all the way up to 10 now. It opened at 7.5. So second leg of back-to-back for Dallas, but on the season, they are 8-3 straight up and against the spread. Dallas has actually won 5 straight against the Knicks. They covered all 5. They played the Knicks really, really well. They beat them earlier this season. Of course, these are 2 different teams now. And the Knicks actually are on the first leg of a back-to-back. They host the Clippers tomorrow. So a couple things to like for the Knicks, for the Dallas Mavericks here. If you like the Knicks, then you like that Dallas is on the second leg of a back-to-back. They're just 15-18-2 against the number on the road. Revenge game. They did lose, of course, in Dallas on November 27th as a 4-point home favorite. And Dallas is just 2-8 straight up, 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games before last night. As far as the total goes, Dallas is 10-1 to the over when they're playing unrested this season. The games are averaging about 244 points on the full season. But even in their most recent game against the San Antonio Spurs, without Kyrie, without Luka, the game hit 262 points. Dallas went into last night's game 8-2 to the over. Last night's games went over as well, so 9-1 to the over in their last 10 games. But as far as the Knicks go, they've been an under team. They're 7-2-1 to the under in their last 10 games. They're 7-3-1 to the under if they're playing on the first leg of a back-to-back, including 3 straight unders. And the Knicks are also 6-3 to the under as a favorite, playing on the first leg of back-to-back games as well. So very conflicting game, hard to bet it. The total has moved up from 222.5 up to 224.5. I'm not really sure what to do with this one. I do think the Dallas defense is going to struggle as it has without Anthony Davis. They go back to being that defense. I think the Knicks should be able to score against Dallas. So I guess I lean towards the over, but not a game that I want in my pocket at all. Don't really want the Knicks laying a boatload of points at 10 either. So very, very quick handicap there. Justin says he played over 224.5. Yeah, it makes sense in my opinion too. The over. You may be able to get a 224. It looks like I see a 224 on the board. Adam says I don't trust the Knicks. Mark says I bet the Knicks minus 8.5. AD probably won't play. He is out, Mark. He said that he won't play and that he probably will play on Thursday. Forgot who they play on Thursday. Dallas plays Orlando on Thursday in Orlando. So he'll rest this game, be back tomorrow. I agree, Mark. I agree with this, Adam. He says they always feel overrated. The Knicks do always feel kind of overrated, but they have the rest advantage here. We'll see what it actually means. Dougie Bond says 9. Give me the Mavs. Inspired basketball. They are playing some inspired basketball here, and I agree. I agree with JaXon too. JaXon likes Najee. I think Najee could have a big game. I do agree with all that. What up, Solo? Hope all is well with you, bro. He says let's get some money. That's what we're here for. That is what we're here for. Yeah, I think the bigger the spread gets, the more I want to take the Mavs. Backdoor cover. Door might be open. It's not like the Mavs aren't playing hard. They're playing really hard. So we'll see. We shall see. I got the Knicks orange on though. Little Knicks orange Nike shirt on. But yeah, I like the Mavs if I'm playing the game. Probably a look towards the over as well. All right, move over to the next one. We got, and I'm very close to playing this one. We got, I think I got 2 more games. It's a lot of games on the board. I'm not going through all of them, but I think it's 2 more games, and then we'll touch on the ones that I didn't cover. So this next one is Atlanta and Houston, and I kind of want to bet under. JaXon likes over. I get it. Like Atlanta's not stopping anybody, but this is the matchup here to me screams under. The totals come up. They open 231. It's all the way up to 235 now. 235.5 I see. at a book. Yeah, the higher the total goes, the more I'll just probably wait and see if I can get the under, maybe play the under late. So jumping into the matchup, we got Atlanta with Trae Young listed as probable. Do think he's going to play. Clint Capella continues to be out. And the Rockets will be at full strength. Only Reed Shepard's out for them. He's missed their last handful of games. So if you like Atlanta, which I think this number is about, I think it's about right. I kind of lean towards Atlanta as well. I think 8 is a big number. I know Houston's coming off a loss where they probably felt like they should have won. They're 9-1 against the 9-1 straight up in their last 10 games. But 8 points is a lot. And Atlanta is hooping. Atlanta on the road, 18-16 against the number. So slightly profitable on the road, but then it gets better. They're 15-10 against the number if they're road dogs. You typically want to be catching points rather than laying them with Atlanta, especially on the road. They're 7-3 straight up, 6-4 against the number in their last 10. They've won and covered 3 straight games. Houston's just 1-4 against the number in their last 5 games. You got a revenge game for Atlanta. They're 12-7 ATS in revenge games this season, 9-3 against the number if they're dogs in revenge games. Atlanta's also 4-2 straight up, 5-1 against the spread in revenge games as road dogs, which you just kind of put it all together. Atlanta on the road as a dog in revenge games. They're very profitable, 5-1 against the number. If you like Houston, you like that Houston has won in Atlanta earlier this season. They were laying 4.5, only won the game by 4. They beat them 100-96. Atlanta is also Houston is also 6-1 straight up, 5-1-1 against the spread, coming off a loss as a home favorite when they're playing at home again. So typically they do bounce back really, really well in these games. As far as what I wrote, so we'll go with the total. Atlanta is 7-3 to the over in their last 10, 4 straight overs. They also 4-5 to the over in revenge games this season, 9-3 to the over in revenge games as dogs as well. So you typically see the game being played a little bit faster pace, and Atlanta scoring a few more points. They're 5-1 to the over in revenge games as road dogs as well. So there is some things that kind of talk me off the under. But the previous matchup had 196 points. If we're talking about the under now, the previous matchup had 196 points with a total that was set at 228. So now we get a total that's even higher. But why did that game go under? In my opinion, this matchup, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second, the last 4 overs for Atlanta came against teams that don't do a great job of protecting the rim. And when we start getting into the matchup, right? So I'm not going to share my screen. I'm going to just read off to you guys what I'm looking at here when I start matching these teams up on the floor. Yeah, they're playing fast. I get it. Yeah, Houston's defense hasn't been as elite. Yeah, Atlanta's not a great defensive team, but I think both of these teams match up really, really well with each other based on what they like to do. If you look at Atlanta on the full season is a team that like to attack the rim. Now, granted, their three-point shooting has been I wouldn't say a lot better, but they have shot the three-point shot a little bit better. Last 5 games, they're shooting 40%, which is pretty good. They're 7th in three-point accuracy. And on the full season, they're shooting just 36%, 18th in accuracy. So their three-point shot has been falling a little bit more. But you know where they're shooting the ball from? The corner 3. They're 3rd in frequency, 3rd in accuracy over their last 5 games. Guess who's top 10 in both? The Houston Rockets. So I don't think Atlanta's going to be able to score. Atlanta's also a team that relies heavily on rebounding. They are 7th in offensive rebounding rate in their last 5 games. They're 12th on the full season. Offensive rebounding rate of 30, pretty much 29.9. Guess who doesn't allow a lot of offensive rebounds? The Houston Rockets. They're a really good offensive rebounding team. 2nd in their last 5 games. They're giving up just 22% to their opponent offensive rebounding rate. On the full season, top 10 as well, right? So Atlanta, what else do they like to do? They love to get out and run in transition, right? On the full season, they are 5th in transition frequency. Houston, really good in transition defense. Last 5 games, Atlanta actually getting out at a frequency that's higher than anybody else's, 20% of the time. So that's like 1 in every 5 possessions, Atlanta's getting out and running. Houston, as far as opponent transition frequency, number 1. Number 6 in opponent efficiency in transition as well in the last 5 games. So I'm just thinking that the way Atlanta likes to score, Houston is defending those zones really, really well. And then if we flip it, Houston is also a team that likes to get out and run. The last time we saw the Atlanta Hawks play against a team that can protect the rim was the Clippers. And what happened in that Clippers game? They had a quarter where they scored 8 points. I think that we're going to see defense in this game. And I'm probably going to go ahead and jump on this 235.5 and take the under. This is not going to be the Atlanta Hawks like the offense that we typically see from the Atlanta Hawks. I think Houston's going to be fired up, especially coming off a loss as well. So, we flip it, though. We look at Houston. Where does Houston like to score the basketball? In the paint, 8th in rim frequency. They're not a great three-point shooting team. They can get hot at times. And Atlanta defensively has been a little bit better recently. On the full season, they are 18th in defensive efficiency. And strength of schedule wise, Atlanta has played a very easy strength of schedule. They are played the 3rd easiest strength of schedule, but Houston's also played the 10th easiest schedule in their last 5 games as well. Houston also 21st in pace. Jackson says something better. It's a lot lower than that, but they're 21st in pace in their last 5 games. I don't know, man. I think it's an under spot. I do think it's an under spot. Houston doesn't push pace at all. They're cool with not running. If you look at them on the full season, Houston is 14th in transition frequency. Last 5 games, they're 25th in transition frequency. So Atlanta, even though they do a terrible job getting back, I don't think Houston's going to push pace too much. And I like that both of these teams are really good rebounding teams. So I don't think it's going to be a lot of second chance opportunities. I like under in this game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. Yeah, I'm with you, G421. You can get a 10, though. You can get a 10. Dom says he likes under. Like that alignment. I consider Dom to be a pretty sharp guy. Like the under for Atlanta and Houston. Mark says Houston -7.5. Like under, but haven't played it yet. Atlanta +8 for Bryant. I think they keep it close. YT says Hawks history versus Rockets since 2019 says +8.5 is too many points. Hawks on the spread. So real quick, just because YT shared that number real quick, let's just see since COVID how the Hawks have played in Atlanta. I'm sorry, in Houston. They are last 3 times that they played, they are 2-1 straight up, 2-1 against the spread, 3-0 to the over. I don't like that. God. Don't like that. They were laying 12.5 points though. They were laying 7 points. And last but not least, they were the game that they won and covered last year was 134 to 127. All these games were in Houston. I don't like that if I like a under. But yeah, they were laying points in 2 of the 3. So that won't move me off my pedestal of an under too much. Justin says close to Houston first half off a loss. Couldn't talk you off. Adam says I love Atlanta in this spot, but even more, I love the player props for a high-scoring, competitive game. Fred VanVleet over his points, Trae Young over his assists, Amin Thompson over his boards, and Sengun over his points plus rebounds. I need all them unders, Adam. LJ says Rockets have allowed the last 3 home opponents to shoot 40% from the three-point line. That total might go over again. I'm leaning under today, LJ. Some regression coming, man. Some regression is coming. I think I play both under because you know what I don't like, Doms, as far as like isolating the Hawks team total under. We've seen what the Rockets do a terrible job of. As much as they're a great offensive rebounding team, a great defensive rebounding team, they attack the paint, they can get hot from the three-point line, but they can go cold. They can go really, really cold. Look at them versus the Heat the other day. Fred VanVleet doesn't score 37. I don't even have a chance to get that cover in the first place. You look at that game, Dylan Brooks shoots 1 for 7 from the three-point line. Jalen Green has 6 points. Like this Rockets offense can dry up at times. The one thing, as good as they are rebounding, they're terrible free throw shooting team. I think they're the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA. For whatever reason, just clank. It's like Steven Adams takes all their free throws. So yeah, just something to take into consideration. I wouldn't isolate the Hawks team total. I think both teams are going to struggle to score just based on matchup. What's up, user? Doggy Bone says, I want to say under on Trae points, but I just seen Jamal Murray give him 40. They have won 9 games in a row, though, Dougie Bone. I think you see a little bit more defensive intensity in this one. Trae Young is somebody I like to fade on his points as well. So could not talk you off of that at all. What's up, Ken? Says, morning, fellas. I'm late. Damn. It's all good. All right, getting into the last one, and then we'll go through the games that I didn't go through. I did play this Grizzlies and Jazz game. I played a number that is available, it looks like, right now. Looks like it's available, but we'll go through it. I like the bet. It's only a half unit bet, but I do like the bet. So we get into the injury report. Memphis coming off, I think this is only the 3rd time this season they've had 3 days of rest or more. They will be without Ja Morant. It looks like Lamar Stevens is listed as questionable. Jordan Clarkson's game time decision, John Collins and Lauri Markkanen are both listed as out in this game. And I sent this out last night right before I fell asleep. Didn't get the best of the number. It opened at 244. So that sucks, but it kind of is what it is. I'm cool with it. All right. So I bet the under in this game. And it's a lot of things to like Memphis, even though they haven't been covering spreads. It's a lot of things to like Memphis in this spot. Both teams have played a top 10 strength of schedule in their last 5 games. Both teams are top 6 in pace in their last 5 games as well. But Utah still has really, really struggled to score the basketball. So if you like Memphis, you do like that Utah is just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. You like that Memphis has 2 extra days rest. They haven't played since Friday when they lost to the Clippers. This is a Memphis team that struggles to take care of the basketball at 24th on the full season in turnover rate. And that costed them in that last game against the Clippers. They turned the ball over 22 times in that game for 41 points for the Clippers. A big advantage that they have in this game. Outside of the 3 days rest, a big advantage that they have in this game is Utah absolutely does not force turnovers. On the full season, they forced the fewest turnovers in the league. Last 5 games, the 29th in opponent turnover percentage. Memphis should be able to get out and run in transition in this game as well. No one runs more than Memphis on the full season. No one allows you to run more than this Utah Jazz team. Memphis also has a major advantage in the paint. They should be able to dominate. They're first in frequency, 8th in accuracy on the full season. Utah bottom 10 in defending. Those are reasons. It's a couple reasons to like Memphis. The reason I didn't play Memphis is because Memphis is also just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games. They're 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. And since the All-Star break, they've covered 2 spreads, 14-1 against the spread since the All-Star break. Utah is just 8. Utah is 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games against Memphis. 2-1 against Memphis this season against the numbers. So I'm off the side. I do think Memphis could win this game. Double digits is a lot to lay with Memphis on the road when they haven't been covering. But I like under. I played under. Memphis and Utah are both 7-3 to the under in their last 10 games. Back-to-back unders in the head-to-head matchups. They went under 247 in the most recent matchup. Then they went under 248. Both went under by 10 plus points. Utah has been held under their team total in 5 straight games as a home dog with the rest advantage. With the rest disadvantage, Utah's 5-2-1 to the under. Those games are averaging just 224 points. Utah is also the second worst offensive rated team in the last 5 games. They got an offensive rating of 103.1. And it's not just their offensive rating. They're also 26th in effective field goal percentage, shooting 52%. If you don't know what effective field goal percentage is, it's a combination of your 3-point shots and your 2-point shots. So they're not making either. 29th in turnover rate, 23rd in offensive rebound rate. That was actually something they were doing well at the beginning of the season. The 23rd in free throw rate. So they're just not making a lot of shots, not taking or making a lot of shots. This is a really bad offensive team, and I do think that they're also not pushing pace. I'm expecting Utah to struggle to score, even though Memphis defense has not been great. I think this is a perfect get right spot, especially with a couple, some extended rest having not played since Friday. And then Memphis, their offense does not look good either. They're 22nd in offensive rate over their last 5 games, 23rd in effective field goal percentage, 25th in offensive rebounding rate, and 24th in free throw rate. So neither one of these teams are like scoring the basketball, and that's why I played under. I think it could stay under the total. I don't think that Utah is going to be able to score, and I think Memphis defense is primed to bounce back in a spot like this. They should be able to take care of the basketball. Pace does scare me a little bit, but I played under 240. Under 240, 240 and a half. It's 241 right now. It actually went back up, but you can get 241, I think, on a couple books right now. I did play under. Let's see. What are the thoughts here? Grizzlies blowout. I could see it 4-2-1. I could definitely see that. Dom says, I know you aren't talking about OKC and Sacramento, but Thunder opponents are 9-5 to their team total under when they play on national TV, including 3 straight unders: Denver, Boston, and Minnesota, and Milwaukee. I'm sorry. Yeah, I missed the best of the number, which is why I'm not going to talk about it. That game was at 7.5 yesterday. I talked about it on Cal's show. I just missed it. And it's up to 10 now. So I don't want to play it there, but yeah, I would only be looking Doms to a team total under in that spot. I told y'all on Sunday. And OKC did cover that game too. They did cover that game. They closed as a 1 point dog, a 1 point favorite. They won the game by 2 when Chet Holmgren got rolled out. A lot of money came in on the Clippers, and a lot of people still cashed. They cashed the +4, +4.5, I think, +3.5. OKC takes these national TV games. I'm not betting against OKC in a national TV game until further notice. So right there with you, Dimes. Adam says, obviously Memphis smash spot, but they're still on a do not bet list. Brian says Memphis first half, get in and get out. Malik says, you already posted the play for the game. I don't know how I missed it. You said 240 is still available. Yeah, I bet the under 240 last night, Malik. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I sent it out. I checked to make sure it went out this morning. 240. You can get 241 if you got Fanatics. They got the best number right now. I did play under. 240.5 is available. It looks like it's consensus. ESPN Bet, DraftKings, Bet365, FanDuel, Caesars, BetMGM. They all got 240.5 right now. Adam says maybe I'll just bet the under on Utah. What's the number? And Dom says it's 114.5. I do think that they're gonna struggle to get the 114.5. The Jazz offense has been really, really bad. And I think it continues here. I do think it continues. We just look at it real quick. They got to 91 against the Cavs, 99 against the Celtics, 128 against the Wizards, 97 against the Bulls, 102 against the Timberwolves. So yeah, it's been under for sure. Let's see. Yeah, 114.5 minus 105 on BetMGM is the best number for the Utah team total. Love us says Duke could beat these teams, man. Brian says Oklahoma clamps down on defense. That home stretch, Clippers couldn't score. Boy, offense was bottled up like a Coke. It was bottled up like a Coke, Brian. It was bottled up, bro. Lee says OKC was mad they didn't get one of those Christmas games. That's why. I think it was Dimes who came in here the other day and said OKC don't know how to take their foot off the gas. All they do is play hard. So, and I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. What up, Michael? Appreciate you for tapping in. GFX says Grizzlies been playing with our emotions like the Bulls. Don't know how to bet them. Yeah, I just bet under GFX, but you are right. All right, so getting into the other games, right? I ended up making a graphic for this. The one that I did not touch on here. And the reason why I'm just going to give you guys some thoughts. I didn't really look too deeply into them. I did look into them. I just didn't make a play. Don't feel too confident on them at all. The OKC and Sacramento game is at 10-0. We just talked about it. OKC, only way I'm playing it, they are 22-11-2 against the number on the road. Sacramento's 12-22-2 against the number at home. I mean, that's the total opposite, right? You want to bet on a team that's doing well at in that specific spot. Sacramento got smoked last night. Not sure if Sabonis is going to play on the second leg of a back-to-back. OKC has beaten this Sacramento team twice already this season. They're 2-0 straight up and against the number. They're 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Sacramento is just 3-11 against the number playing unrested. They failed to cover 6 straight in this spot when they are unrested. Sacramento has, as far as the total, both games went up and over earlier this season. They cleared a 225 total and a 238.5 total. OKC scored 130 and 144 in both of those matchups. Sacramento entered last night's game 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games. Last night's game did go under, but Boston and OKC play two different tempos. Boston plays slow, and OKC loves to get out and run. Sacramento 9-5 to the over, playing unrested in their last 3 games. Unrested, Sacramento has given up 128 to the Bulls. We just saw that. 122 to the Phoenix Suns, 133 to the Knicks, 140 to the Pelicans. So couldn't talk anybody off, just an OKC team total to go up and over. And then the Cleveland and Portland game, just missed the best of the number. It was, I think it was 9 or 8.5 is what Cleveland was laying. And Donovan Mitchell got ruled out. So I missed the best of that number. Jeremy Grant is also listed as doubtful in that game. As far as, I think that's it. Yeah, of course, Aiden is out. Robert Williams is out, of course, as well. So they're just giving them the night off. This line come all the way down to 6.5 before I fell asleep last night. So I didn't like it as much there. I do think that Portland keeps it within the number. I know that they're coming off a pretty poor performance against Boston on Sunday, but they are 22-5 against the spread at home still, 20-11 against the spread as a home dog. 10-4 against the number if they're a home dog with revenge. Cleveland is just 1-4 against the number and straight up in their last 5 games. I know that they got a big win against Utah. I wouldn't back them here in this spot though. Cleveland has played their last is playing their last of a 5-game road trip, so a major fatigue spot for them here. They played 7 of their last 10 games on the road, not including this game. So I think Portland is the right side. I just get into the number late. So and I think that's all the games. I think those were the only 2 I didn't make graphics for because we touched on all the rest of them. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for today's slate. What I bet is on the screen. Golden State -4.5, OKC Utah under 240.5. And then I do like Orlando -5. Haven't bet that yet. And I like Atlanta Houston under 235.5. I think is available. And I might buck the jaXon trend and just play the over. Play the under between Houston and Atlanta. I'll see where the market goes on it, but I do like under. I'm not looking towards the over in that game. And I do like the Najee Marshall play that jaXon likes today, though. Somebody's going to have to score. I think it's going to be Najee. So I do like that. Real quick, 235.5 is now gone. 235 is the best number on DraftKings for Houston and Atlanta under. So that's what I like. I slight lean towards Dallas plus the points as well. I'll be taking the points with San Antonio, but I'm off that game until I know if Castle and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Cade Cunningham's going to play. Slight lean towards Portland plus the 6.5. Would take OKC still even laying at 10 if I was betting that game. And I would also be looking towards OKC team total to go up and over. That number is 120.5. I think they can get to 121 today. Maybe just Sacramento team total under 110.5. So clearly I still got some work to do, but that's going to be the show for today. I appreciate everybody for tapping in as always, man. Best of luck on whatever it is that you're playing today. All the resources I use to handicap the games are here as always. There's referral links in the description of the video. If you guys are new, check them out. Save yourself some coin. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time as always. Enjoy your Tuesday, and I will catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.